Welcome back to the broadcast. This is Inside Politics. Let's go to the phone lines now and talk to Kenyans. We'll try to talk to as many of our callers as possible. Let's start in the county of Uasin Gishu. Talk to Victor Kemboi. Victor, good afternoon.
Yes, Ben.
Yes, thanks for calling in. What's your take on what we're discussing today? We're talking about the curfew nightmare we saw in Nairobi yesterday. We're talking about the search for the next Chief Justice and the Ruto factor.
Now, let me start first of all with the nightmare that is being observed in Nairobi at the moment.
Yes.
You find we Kenyans, the government should actually get to see on the welfare of the Mwananchi. Despite of the corona, the pandemic that is ravaging the whole community, the society, the world of today, but let the government consider the common Mwananchi. What is happening now as far as the common Mwananchi is concerned is that we as the common Mwananchi, we are really suffering. In fact, the common Mwananchi can even afadhalisha corona than the kind of life tunapitia one.
All right.
Number two,
yes,
with the Ruto factor, here comes a point of the alliances that is looming. And the person who has been seen championing for the alliances is the president himself. We Kenyans had a lot of confidence in the Uhuru Ruto government. But later on, when Uhuru announced publicly broad daylight in Nakuru, in fact, that was the day President Uhuru Kenyatta prayed himself. In fact, he denied saying, let the pastor, that is Ruto, stay aside, he himself to pray. That was the time he announced 10 for Uhuru, 10 for Ruto. Now, here comes a point of the seen alliances that have actually come out to be seen is the Uhuru and the Team Alliance. Here comes now Ruto being and Raila being a lone ranger. Kenyans are foreseeing, we as Kenyans, we are foreseeing a two-horse race against, God forbid, the Uhuru team that was seen in the State House the other day, you know, the Gideon Moi, the Kalonzos, the Murades of Kenya, let me say that way.
All right.
And the Ruto and Raila being alone. So we are actually foreseeing an alliance that is it will carry almost 3/4 of the Kenyans. That is Ruto Raila alliance against the dynasty. That is my opinion.
Thank you for your thoughts. Thanks for your thoughts, Victor Kemboi, calling us from County of Uasin Gishu. Let's go. Let's come to Nairobi and talk to Caleb Otieno. Caleb, how are you?
Thank you, Mr. Ben.
Yes, in 1 minute only. Give us your thoughts quickly.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ben. I want to make this following. Fine, thank you. Now, I'm saying.
Yes, go ahead. We can hear you.
I'm saying these are politicians. They are very funny. The president of the country, Mr. Honorable Uhuru Kenyatta, should manage his success on politics wisely and properly. Because what I'm seeing is we might slide back. Kenya is at risk because the politicians are not guided by principles, but by their own selfish and ulterior motives. You know, you might not even determine which direction these politicians are to follow the next time. And the best statement that Moi made about them is that we are dealing with politicians whose behaviors are like Nyang'au. These are politicians whom you cannot determine any of their principles, that except maybe one. You will not know what kind of stand maybe somebody who wants a president stand for. So, the Honorable President should be very careful in handling his success on politics.
Talk to us about the search for a CJ. What kind of a CJ would you want to see?
We want, you know, it is very unfortunate that a scholar like Kagwanja would say, let us be honest, the president will determine who the next Chief Justice will be. This is very disheartening. We are in a process of looking for a competent Chief Justice to fill the vacancy of Maraga. Now, let us concentrate on the merit and the background of all these candidates, and get the right Chief Justice who can stand on his own for the sake of the Kenyans who are looking for their rights in the legal sector.
Thank you, Caleb. Thank you, Caleb, for your thoughts, Caleb Otieno. Let's go to Kilifi County now and talk to Ayub Were. Ayub.
Yes, Ben, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Thank you for calling in. 1 minute only. Give us your thoughts.
Let me go straight to the root of factor.
Yes.
There are two questions that I've been asking myself. That is, why will Ruto want Raila Odinga on the ballot paper come 2022? Then another question is, why will Ruto introduce the hustler narrative? To want Raila on the ballot paper, it's because Ruto knows that he can beat Raila very early in the morning. Because he knows, even in central Kenya, the Raila is still there. And he knows that even if Raila would be on the ballot paper, the central Kenyan voters will still not vote for him because of the things he has done in central Kenya. He still have foot soldiers like Moses Kuria. He still have people like Ndindi Nyoro. People who have actually dirtified Raila's name in central Kenya. And whatever that may happen, Raila will still not get votes in central Kenya. Now, why has Ruto introduced the hustlers narrative? Is because he knows of the major tribes in Kenya, there is no kingpin that is ready to work with him. And kingpin in Luo Nyanza.
Is that your own analysis? Is that a fact?
Yeah, it is a fact. Currently, as we are talking, people are coming together to form alliances that will help them to win the 2022 presidential election. But Ruto cannot win that with the kingpins, either from Nyanza, Central, or Luya Nation.
All right.
That's why he's going for the hustlers narrative to try and blackmail the disgruntled youth across the country, thinking that he can have a wave.
All right. Let's leave politics alone. Talk to me very quickly in 20 seconds about this lockdown and curfew issues that we are seeing in Nairobi.
Ben, the lockdown and the curfew, these are unnecessary things from the president. And I've been asking myself, how has he used the IMF loan that came the other day? And is it his orders for what happened yesterday in Thika Road, or just things from the police officers?
Good questions. Thank you. Ian, Ayub Were, calling us from the county of Kilifi. Let's go to Kisumu now and talk to Ian Abu.
Thank you, Ben.
Talk to us 1 minute only. Ian, are you with me? Let's go to Kisumu now and talk to Ian Abu.
Thank you.
Ian, kindly lower the volume of your TV set so we are able to hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Talk to me very quickly, 45 seconds only, your take on this Ruto issue and the issue of the curfew in Nairobi.
Yeah, when I want to talk about the curfew thing in Kisumu, yeah, the Mr. President is looking at these things, his own look, and he should take order, he should make it in order.
Yes, go ahead. Continue.
Yes, and the issue of Ruto's factor, my friend, we just want to give Raila just a term, just a single term to show us how the country should be led. And we, yes, are you getting me? Yes, and we want Ruto to leave Raila and his team to make the government come 2022. We don't want disruptions. We have seen how they have led us in the DUCOS in the 5 years, 10 years, 2 terms. And as Kenyans, we don't want a repeat of that. We just want to give Raila just a single term to show us how to lead, how the country should be run. You see
so transitional president.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Ian. Ian Abu calling us from Kisumu will be Our last caller for today. Many thanks to our callers and those we were not able to reach. We do appreciate the effort. We'll hope to speak to you next time. Let me go to the panelists for the final thoughts. Javas, 60 seconds only. Your final thoughts.
Well, I would say that with respect to matters in search of the new CJ, we must not assume then that a person occupying offices in the apex court should be spineless individuals that are, innocuous by way of the texts of the Constitution and statutes. They're individuals that can be fallible and individuals that have got ideological leanings and thoughts, and that's why the manner in which the GSC conducting these interviews should be to grill them for the suitability of persons for that office. But beyond that, they must demonstrate that they're doing it in such a manner that it can win public affection. Because if the public will not trust the manner in which the interviews are conducted, and that the person that is selected is suitable for office, then we may end up having a judicial system that is not trusted by Kenyans. The other thing is that with regard to matters curfews, the President and the National Security Council should listen to Kenyans and consider their plight. We need to have laws and regulations that work for Kenyans, not work for the administration. Kenyans' views, interests must be considered. And Kenyans themselves too. I know they are working so hard to make sure that they abide by the laws and the regulations, but the manner in which these regulations are being enforced should consider the interests of Kenyans.
Thank you. Dismas.
Well, Mark tiptoed around the definition of a populist politician, and I don't understand why, because he knows the definition. But a populist politician is that toxic politician who inflicts enormous pain in you and then turns around the corner and he gives you a painkiller using lies and deceit. So that's a very good definition of a toxic politician. Then secondly, as we approach the 2022 general elections, we need to start looking at our political parties and ask them to run primaries which are free, fair, and credible, because that's the mother's milk for democracy. When you look at the ODM nominations in Bonchari, you would not say that they respected Article 10 or Chapter 6 of our Constitution, and I hope that Jubilee does not repeat the same mistake in Kiambaa.
All right. Kenneth Chesa, give me your final thoughts.
Thank you very much, Ben. My final thoughts relate to the ongoing interviews for the selection of Chief Justice. I want to let Kenyans know that some of the responses we are getting from candidates are quite perplexing, and they do not expect to learn much from such responses. I take issue, for example, with the response by Senior Counsel Philip Mulgor on the powers of an acting Chief Justice. For the record, and as an advocate of the High Court, I know that the acting Chief Justice can perform all duties assigned to the office of the Chief Justice unless specifically forbidden by law. Let us have this discussion in an honest manner without drawing in what Lady DCJ Mwilu can do. It is not about Mwilu, it is about the acting Chief Justice. Tomorrow, we shall have another acting Chief Justice, and if we confine this discussion with Mwilu in mind, we are going to lose it as a nation.
Thank you, Akili. Mark.
Populist, an adjective relating to the characteristic of a politician in an approach that strives to appeal to the ordinary people who feel that their concerns are disregarded by the elite groups. This is my warning to my country. There's a lot of populism to go around about every issue. But you must sit down and define for yourself what is good for you and country. As concerns COVID, we do need to mask. We do need to social distance. We do not need to be out at 8 p.m. beyond curfew. But also, dear police, we don't need you to take our bribes, neither do we need you to close our roads. What we need you to do is to enforce the law in a peaceful and fair manner. Thank you, Ben.
Thank you, Mark. Communication strategist Mark Bichachi, lawyer Kenneth Chesa, political risk analyst Dismas Mokua, and political analyst Javas Bigambo. Gentlemen, many thanks for your time this morning, coming to share your views with Kenyans. I shall leave it on Inside Politics this Sunday, the 18th day of April 2021. As always, do join us every Sunday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. here on Inside Politics, Kenya's premier Sunday morning political broadcast, where, as always, We dissect the biggest political and policy issues in the Republic. I'm Ben Kitili. Thank you for watching. Up next is Weekend at 1 with George Moringa. Stay with us.